everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we're going to be going over some frequently asked questions about working on a cruise ship. So for some background information, I'm 24 years old and I've been working for a major cruise line for about 2 years now. The application process for me was really simple, and for most cruise lines it's the same. You just apply online through the department or position that you're looking for, and then somebody will email you back to sort of go over some more information, set up a telephone interview, and things like that. So if you are looking to apply for a cruise line, your best chance is to just search it up online and apply through the website of the company you're looking to apply for. So to get right into the questions, the first one I have is the food and accommodation free on board for the crew? And the answer is yes. And that is what makes cruise ship life sort of a desirable position, because you can save so much money because you aren't having to buy room, food, groceries, gas, any of that stuff. So you're really just saving. Of course, the things that you would buy ashore in ports, such as food or souvenirs, will cost you, but the company basically provides travel. They provide the food, they provide even baggage allowance on most cruise ships, so it's a really great way to save a lot of money. The question about visiting the ports that the ship goes to is yes, most likely you will be able to. Of course, the hours that you work during the day will depend on the different positions and departments, but generally you will have time off to go ashore into whatever port the ship is visiting for the day. So the uniform requirements are generally provided by the cruise ship. You may need to purchase one or two smaller items. For example, I work in the youth program and I had to provide a brown leather belt and white shoes, but they provided the pants and the shirt and also the sweater for Alaska and things like that. So generally the cruise ship will provide those pieces for you. So to answer the question about health requirements, you are required, no matter what cruise line you go to have a physical done by a company that the cruise ship sets up for you. So it will be a medical center that's located in your city. You'll set up an appointment and you will need to get a physical done and some blood work, and they'll just run a few tests to make sure that you are healthy enough to work at sea. Because when you join the ship, you will need to provide your fitness certificate, which is good for 2 years. So every 2 years you will need to go and get the same physical again to renew it. So you can actually apply to a cruise line if you live outside of the United States. Typically, especially on the cruise line I work for, there's only 40 people from North America for every 800 crews. So it's very international. So yes, if you are living outside of the United States, you can apply for any cruise line that you wish to join. The minimum age for employment on a cruise ship is 21 years old, unless you are a cadet officer joining the ship through an intern from college. Like I mentioned before, I work in the youth program, and since all the crew members in the entertainment department have an officer status, we are allowed to use the guest areas and the guest gym. Of course, we do need to be properly dressed, either in a uniform, or if it's the evening, we need to be dressed in the proper attire, whether it's business casual or formal. And you always need to wear your name tag in public areas. Medical care on board when you're working is covered by the company, so if anything happens to you while you're on the ship, the company will take care of you. If you're off the ship, you will need to provide your own sort of insurance, whether it's something that you have at home or through the company, but you will need to pay for an insurance if you're off the ship. So when you join the cruise ship as an employee, you are not allowed to bring your friends, your family, or your pet, because the accommodations are very as is. They're very small. They're meant for just you. Some positions allow you to have a friend on board option. If you are in your own cabin, you are able to have, for so many days, one of your friends or family on board to sail with you. But they do need to stay in your cabin, and it is only for a select amount of days. Packing can be hard, especially given the length of your contract, whether it's 4 months or 9 months. But you definitely want to do research once you do get your contract about where the ship will be sailing. For example, if you're in the Caribbean, of course you would want to travel with plenty of shorts, t-shirts, tank tops, bathing suits. If you're traveling to Alaska, you'll want sweaters, jackets. But keep in mind that during your contract, your ship may be repositioning from one itinerary to the next. For example, some of the ships during the summer months will be in Alaska, and then in the fall they'll transit the Panama Canal and head into Caribbean. So if you're on board for that length of time, you definitely want to make sure that you have all the clothes that you'll need through your contract. So it can be kind of hard to fit everything into one suitcase, but definitely do your research about where the ship will be sailing before you start your packing. The answer is yes, you can drink alcohol on board. Every cruise ship has their own cruise ship bar located in the crew areas where you can go after hours. After you're done working, you can go and hang out with the crew and drink alcohol, soda, whatever. But again, if you do have the officer status, you are able to go out into the guest areas after work and go and drink at the various bars that are on board for the guests. But generally the rule is that you are not actually allowed to sit at the bar in guest areas. You are just allowed to sit in the tables, but you can't physically sit on a bar stool at the bar. So yes, again, the crew has their own area that they have away from the guests. So they have a whole area for them. They have a crew mess, they have a crew bar, they have crew gym, definitely areas that you can relax after work that isn't in your cabin. So I'm going to be inserting some pictures of what the cruise ship cabin actually looks like, or what it might be similar to. But basically the crew sleeps in the crew cabin, and you are generally with one other person that is in your same department, and you have everything that you basically need: a bathroom, a bed, a closet, and a TV. So how you actually get to the ship is somebody will email you with your travel details once you have been confirmed your contract. So it will have a flight that's out of your closest major airport, as well as a hotel for the night before, because typically cruise ships want you there the night before, so that way there isn't any delays to keep you from getting to the ship on time. So you'll have directions to your flight, your hotel, and how to get to the hotel, and then how to get to the ship the next morning. Usually a company will come and pick all the crew members up in a big bus, pack all your luggage, and then take you to the ship from the hotel that the company provides. So if you have any commitments during your contract that you know ahead of time, make sure that you tell the person who is scheduling you your contracts, so that way they are able to either get you home or find you a different contract that will let you have the time at home that you need. And the time off during your typical work day will depend on your different position and duties. However, you always are required to have a certain amount of rest. So typically during the day, every crew member needs to have at least 7 hours minimum rest in the evening and 4 hours minimum rest during the day sometime, for you to enjoy sort of like a break. And it also factors in whether the ship is in port during the day or during sea days. Some hours are longer than others. The ship that you work for will vary. You will work one whole contract on a ship, and then if you apply for another contract, then you most likely will be sent to a different ship in a different location. The assignment lengths vary on position. However, most contracts are generally between 4 and 9 months. So I hope I was able to help you by answering some of those questions. If you do have any other questions or want me to elaborate a bit more on the questions that I did answer, leave them down in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to get back to you personally or make another video, a follow-up to even more questions if you have them. Thanks for watching, and happy cruising!